So I wanted to do this conversation because I think it would be good for, hopefully to save some lives, hopefully save some black men. You ready to make a difference?
Um, I'm ready to. I don't know if I'm gonna make a difference, but maybe if somebody hears something that I have to say, maybe it'll make a difference in their life. But I don't want to say what I'm gonna say to make a difference. Just want to say it to get it off my chest. I never said it, never told anyone.
This is very personal work for me.
Politics.
I believe I was called to tell my story, use my voice, be a voice for the community, to speak to and for a community of people that's been ignored, denied, overlooked.
Religion.
This is my life's work.
Religion.
I want to use words to uplift, heal, inspire, encourage.
Do something different. Every Monday at 10.
Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig, the writer Stewart, and this is So Much to Say. These are my thoughts in my voice on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. Today we're talking to one of my childhood friends, and I think this is a good conversation because it really does speak to the health of men, in particular black men. We grew up together, and so what are you, about a year older than I am?
Definitely. I'm 43.
Oh, no, you're 2 years older than I am. Okay, so you're 2 years older than I am.
All right.
And I wanted to talk to you because last year you had a stroke. Was it a major stroke?
It was a massive stroke.
A massive stroke.
Yeah.
And so what brought on the stroke? Were you on high blood pressure medicine?
Well, I had that black man shit going on where it's like, I'm fine as long as I wake up every morning.
Mm-hmm.
Your arm might hurt a little bit sometimes. You like, man, I work through that shit. You good.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I was a working dude with insurance, could go to the doctor, just didn't go. Actually, I worked in the medical field.
Right.
But I ain't go to the doctor like that.
So just for the people that are listening, you're not overweight.
No.
So from outward appearances, you look like you're in good health. So, like, what was it? You had high blood pressure, so you were already on high blood pressure medication?
Well, I was on high blood pressure medication, and I was diagnosed with high blood pressure when I was in my 30s. So I took my medication, but ironically, when I got my stroke, I was probably like at one of the healthiest points of my life. Like, I was riding my bike every day. I lived downtown, walked everywhere I went, but it was weird, man.
So how long has you been on the high blood pressure medication?
Several years, but after a while, to be honest with you, I stopped taking it.
You stopped taking it. So did you stop taking it for the reason that most men stop taking it, and that's because it affects your erection?
No, that was one of the reasons, not the reason, but it made you feel...
Loopy?
Not loopy, but not yourself. Almost like how a kid would feel on, like, ADHD medicine or something.
Okay.
Kind of like not
anxious,
yourself.
maybe?
Anxious, like a step slower than you usually are. That type of feel.
So you had stopped taking it, and how long from the point that you stopped taking it did you experience the stroke?
Years, man.
It was years?
Years.
But you hadn't been to the doctor either?
I hadn't been to the doctor either. Like, there's probably times I probably could have went to the doctor. The doctor probably would have saw something and probably caught it with some type of screenings that they have now that I didn't go to.
Right. So take us through the day that it actually happened. You were at work, right?
October the 6th, 2016.
At
like 9:45 p.m. I remember everything vividly. I had on an orange Oreo, like, vintage t-shirt and some scrub pants. And I got into it with my coworker, like, so bad, because I was supposed to go sit with a patient, because I worked in the medical field, like I said.
Right.
So I was supposed to sit with a patient, but she was in there. And she was like, "You gonna sit with her?" I was like, "Cool, I'll do it." And she was like, "Well, what time you coming in here?" And I was like, well, the shift started at 7:30. She was like, "Well, I get off at 7:26. And I remember saying, "Hey, yo, who the fuck gets off at 7:26?
Right. And that's the last thing you remember?
And I remember, like, me and her fussing, going at it. And after I finished fussing with her, I felt sick. Like, I don't know if it, like, worked me up or anything.
The stress of it, maybe?
Maybe. Now that I think back. But then I, like, you know, like, I felt a little ill, like, a little stomach, like, a little queasy. So when you feel that way, what you do?
Sit down,
give me a ginger
something
ale.
to drink, yeah.
Got a ginger ale, man. That shit it came down on me like a damn blanket. Boom. I was like, what the fuck?
Wait, so what was that? What was that feeling? What do you mean?
It was like, I felt ill. Like, super, like, violently ill.
Like a virus type ill?
Yeah, like that super hungover, like, please, Lord, let me get through this. Let me get to where I'm going. Because I was in the patient's room when I got sick.
Okay.
And I was like, I just want to get out of this dude room, go to the break room. When I got to the break room, fell out.
So you fell out. And so you were already at the hospital.
I worked at the hospital.
Right. So isn't there like a window of time, like 15 or 30 minutes, that they try to get you to the hospital after having a stroke because then they can reverse it?
That's what saved my life.
Because you were at the hospital.
I was at the hospital, and there was like a drug that they can give you that reverses the effects of a stroke. But they have to give it to you within a certain time frame
right.
to reverse the effects. But they have to be certain that you're having a stroke.
Okay.
Like, it can't be like angina, which is kind of like a heart attack.
A blockage of the heart, right.
It can't be something like that, or it'll fucking kill you.
Mm-hmm.
So
the treatment that they would give you to reverse the stroke could kill you if it's not a stroke.
So it was like, they had to do all these tests to make sure I was actually having a stroke.
So the clock is ticking at this point.
Ticking.
Right.
And it's crazy because all of this shit I remember. That was the scary part about all of this. It's like,
so you're awake.
Yeah, like I wasn't awake. I was unconscious, but
you could hear it.
I could hear everything going
okay.
on. I hear I hear everybody going crazy. I hear I don't hear my mother.
Okay.
I don't hear her.
So the only familiar voices that you hear are people that you work with.
Mm-hmm. Like, VJ, get up, get up, get up.
So, what happened from that point? So, like, did they give you the whatever it is for?
Ambulance. They took me down to the ER because I couldn't do an ambulance because I was already there.
Mm-hmm. So
they took me down to the emergency room. And my mom was already there, and we waited. And then I laid on the stretcher for a while, and I got this crazy pain down the middle of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was paralyzed, dude. Like, I couldn't move.
So again, your eyes are still closed.
I'm still closed.
But you're present mentally.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I hear everything going on.
And so you know that your mom is there.
Yeah, I know she there.
Uh-huh.
I see her.
And so you get this pain in your head, and what did that pain end up being? What was it?
That was the actual stroke.
That was the stroke. So what did it feel like? Like an intense headache, or worse than a headache? Did it feel like perhaps what we would imagine it would feel like if somebody hit you upside your head with a...
Man. Like, it's so much pain. Like, I can't describe it. It was so much pain, you can't move.
So is it just in your head, or is it in your eyes?
You just feel it down the middle of your damn head, but you can't move. Like, I'm talking about, like, I remember my nose was itching, and I couldn't lift my hand and scratch my nose.
Okay.
That's how I was paralyzed. I was literally paralyzed. I couldn't move. It's crazy.
So
that was Thursday.
So that was Thursday. So then what happened next?
I woke up, it was Saturday.
And they told you your prognosis?
They told me, like, everything that happened. I had a stroke, that I had brain surgery that night. They removed part of my skull. All of this shit, like, I woke up Saturday, like, hold up. Wait a minute. All this shit happened Friday?
So they removed part of your skull because your head was, your brain was swollen.
Yeah, I had fluid in the back of my brain that was swelling up. So they had to remove part of my skull.
But that was risky, too. That could have been fatal, right? That surgery?
I don't think, like, I tell people all the time, I don't think a lot of my limitations are from the stroke, per se. I think it was from the brain surgery. And
so what limitations are you talking about? What limitations do you have now?
Balance, coordination. Okay. And that's the part of the brain that they operated on.
The part of your brain that affects balance and coordination. Yeah. So, do you still drive? Can you still drive?
I can't drive.
You can't drive now?
Dude, I go to driving school. Like, I'm the 40-year-old dude in driving school with all these damn teenagers. It's crazy.
So you're like 15 all over again.
Yeah, I had to start my life all over again. My mom be trying to drop me off spots. Like, you want to take you to the bar? Hell no, you're not dropping me off a happy hour.
Okay, so listen. So let's go back for a second. So, because I remember when it happened, so you and I grew up together, And although we didn't stay in touch like every single day, I'm clear about what's going on with you as well as the rest of our friends that we grew up with. Absolutely, before Facebook. So I knew your mom's phone number. I called her right away. One of our friends texted me and said, hey, listen, Veron had...
7541.
Listen. And the same thing with your mom, like 4139. So I was like, I called the phone. I said, hey, listen, I'm in Atlanta, but I heard that Veron had a stroke. I just wanted to make sure that you're okay and how's he doing and, you know, what's going on. But then I had also reached out to Joy, your ex-wife. And so I stayed in touch with her more. I was talking to her at least once a week because I didn't want to overwhelm your mom. So I was reaching out to Joy and just getting an up-to-date, you know, play-by-play, what's going on. Like, she let me know when you were going to have the surgery, when you came out of surgery.
You know something? I never said this to anybody. I hate the word I don't like to say I don't like. But when I see people, like I've seen you, for the first time in a long time, I don't like how people kind of got to try to, how you doing? Kind of like feel like they got to like prove to me how they felt when I was down. Like, oh, I called your mother, and this, that, and the third, and then me and my cousin, we tried to come home. Like, yo, I understand. Like, I felt all of that. Like, I felt people prayers. I felt people care for me. Like, I didn't want people to come flocking to me to see me like that. I was messed up. I was in a bad way.
Right.
Like, I remember, like I told you, I saw everything.
So how long were you actually in the hospital?
From October the 6th to December the 14th.
Oh, wow.
And I laid on my back from October the 6th to Thanksgiving.
So you had to do some sort of physical therapy once you got out?
I still go to physical therapy.
Okay.
I look regular, but I work hard as fuck.
But you're not back to work?
I ain't going back to work.
Oh.
But I can't do what I used to do. But I got plans, but I ain't, you know.
So what are things that you can't do? I mean, I know you said you couldn't drive now.
I'm still, like, going through the physical therapy thing. Like, I had a traumatic brain injury. So there are times, like, where I, like, turn, and, like, sometimes my brain would be like, yo, what the hell you doing? Like, I mean, you can see the scar right here.
Right.
But that's a device that comes down my brain.
So it's something they implant it?
And they come all the way down my neck.
And what does that do?
That takes the fluid out of my brain.
Consistently?
Daily.
Oh. So that's permanent. That's something that you'll always have.
I always had that. Like, I can't get in a fight or anything. I'd rather in a fight, I'd rather kill somebody. Because if they hit me in that, it's a wrap for me.
Right. So how has this changed your life, like having a stroke?
I'm not for people's shit. I cuss people out at the drop of a hat now.
Yeah, because you real vocal on Facebook.
Hey, I cuss people out on the train, strangers. If somebody talking crazy on the phone, I be like, yo, you need to chill with that shit. Shit like that. With my kids, I'm little.
Because you have 2 boys.
Yeah. And ironically, we bring up my boys. My oldest son, he's been playing the PlayStation heavy. Too heavy if you ask me. So, Craig, you know me my whole life. I'm not the most mature dude in the world. I make a mature decision. I take the PlayStation, get this dude the autobiography of Malcolm X. Everybody like, oh, why you do that? Why you take his game? Why you take his game? What he going to do now? And I'm like, you can't read the book? You 14, it's time. Like, there's some real stuff going on out here. Like, I'm trying to do something positive, and y'all killing me. Like, I felt like I was in Bizarro World. Like, somebody had, like, I gave this dude a pack of cigarettes or something. Like, I took a video game and gave him a book. So mad that, like, I get it, you 14, you mad. All right, you mad. Everybody against you when you 14. But it has to be an adult to be like, you need to get over that bullshit. So fast forward to Monday, I took my boys to Miami.
So you're able to travel?
He didn't go. Because he was mad because I took his video game. And his mother was cool with him being mad that I took his video game. Him not going to Miami. That's how mad he was about a video game. I was like, bro, a video game? I had brain surgery, but this is crazy. Like, am I bugging out? How many black men take their sons to Miami? Just them 3.
So what was the story you said you wanted to share, earlier. You said it was a funny story that
A
happened.
couple of those. I told you, like, when I was in the hospital unconscious. Like, there were times that I was like, I didn't realize how severe I was messed up. Like, I thought it was a kind of quick, I was sick, go home, be in the hospital for a couple of days, go home, miss a haircut appointment or some shit like that. Nah, dude. I was in there thinking about, like, God damn, I gotta wash these fucking dishes. Shit like that. But it was like, dude, you gonna be here for a minute. And I remember that I was like unconscious, and the nurse came in, and she was like, "Well, did y'all know that he was an organ donor?" And I was like, "Bitch."
So you're still.
I woke up.
You're
and
conscious,
called her a
but
bitch.
so that was when you actually came.
It's crazy.
So that was when you
like,
came to.
What the fuck wrong with you? And I was like, "How the fuck she got my fucking shit? Like, that's on my license."
Right.
And she was like, "It's in the computer." I was like, "Fuck the computer. Why she know my shit like that?" Like, I'm in bad. That's when I knew I was in bad shape. For them to have that type of conversation, that's when I knew, like, oh yeah, you fucked up.
So did they say that the stroke happened because of your diet or
Stress.
it was stress?
I don't handle stress well.
So what the fuck were you stressed out about?
Life in general. Not anything specific, but just life in general. Just keep going, trying to keep going every fucking day. That's a hard fucking job. That shit ain't easy to get up and keep knocking your head on the fucking wall every fucking day. And then you got two people depending on you.
So how do you change? Like how does that reality
You
change?
don't change, you just keep going.
But what I'm saying is, if your reality hasn't changed, that's still your reality now. What's going to be different today from when you had the stroke a year ago? What's different?
I feel like
How do you
having
approach
the
it
stroke
differently?
and surviving the stroke to come back where I came from, I feel like I got a second chance. And now I got a second chance, I'm gonna try to do it right.
So how do you do that?
Like, try to do it like not to talk about Jay-Z shit, but like try to leave a legacy for my boys. Like, I want to own something. I don't want to work for nobody the rest of my damn life. I want to have something, whether it's small, it'll be mine. It'll be something to be like, oh yeah, this is ours. Not like, oh yeah, my dad worked here for 15 years, and now he retired. Nah, fuck that.
So are your boys aware of what happened to you?
My oldest is, my youngest is kind of like, yeah, daddy, something happened to daddy. Because I know they always check on me like, Dad, you okay, Dad? You all right?
How old are they?
14 and 9.
So the 9-year-old isn't really aware of what happened. So do they ask about the scar on your head? No.
They were there through it all.
So they were coming to the hospital. They just don't know
I
it.
really didn't want them to see me like that, but they were there.
Right.
I really didn't have a say in the matter at the time.
Right.
It was rough, man. Like
So
the drugs that they had me on. A quick story about the drugs. I was on oxycodone, Dilaudid, and morphine, and I had to choose one of those every 4 hours. And one night I took oxy and I was tripping real bad. And I remember calling my wife and I was like, Joy, you need to come pick me up. She was like, where you at? And I was like, yo, I'm at Starbucks. I don't know how the fuck I got here, but you need to come get me because I don't got no fucking pants on. She was like, how the fuck you get to Starbucks? And I was like, yo, now is not the time for questions. I just need you to come fucking get me. Nigga, like 45 minutes passed. I'm in line at Starbucks. And she come. And I say, yo, how the fuck did you find me? I didn't even tell you what Starbucks I was at. She was like, nigga, we in your room. That's how high I was.
right.
In my mind, I was in Starbucks with two people in front of me.
In the line.
In line, looking, trying to figure out what I was going to get. So when I get to the line, that's a smooth transaction. That's how high I was. That's how I know these drugs these dudes be on, these dudes don't know what the hell they doing.
So are you still using medication?
No drugs, yo. I only take like my blood pressure medicine religiously.
So you have
And I
started.
smoke. You don't mind if I smoke.
So you do use the.
But I don't take none of that. No narcotics, yo. I stopped taking narcotics before I left the hospital in like November.
But you got back on the.
Grass?
No, the high, ain't nobody talking about weed. You got back on the high blood pressure medicine.
Yeah. I take that much seriously now. Like, that's a big fucking deal.
So do you have somebody helping you? Because I know you said that you.
Nah. I don't like help.
But you said
I'm
you
an
have.
asshole when it comes to help. Like, I don't like people holding doors and shit for me. and all that. Like, yo, we not on a date. Stop holding the door for me, son.
So wait a minute. So you said you have to live with your father, or you live with someone?
I can't live alone.
For how long?
Like a year.
So you have to live with someone for a year. And why is that? That's like a window of time where they think it
Just
could
a
possibly
window to
happen
let me,
again?
like, heal. Because I'm still healing. Like, sometimes when I make, like, sudden head movements, I get dizzy.
Mm-hmm.
To be totally honest with you. Like, the other day, for example, I was crossing the street and you gotta look both ways. I got dizzy. And it's like, yo, you don't need to be walking across the street dizzy. Even if the coast is clear.
So does the heat, like summer heat, does that affect you in any way?
I don't know. I just came from Miami.
Oh.
But I be on my old man shit like, all right, let's go out here for a couple hours and go back inside. Not going outside for 6 hours straight and come back in and chill out and go back out later. None of that shit.
And so since you can't go back to work, you basically are on like a long-term disability. Is that what happens?
Bored as hell, man. I gotta find something to do, man.
Well, you said you want to leave a legacy, so this is the time to get to work.
I need to go back to school or something.
Well,
I
take
can't
your ass
keep
back to
watching
school.
Maury and shit.
Yeah, you need to take your ass back to school.
I do. This chick on Maury the other day ran outside. Sorry.
All right. Any final words? Any final words? Anything that you'd like to leave for people listening?
It's over already after all this shit.
Well, what else you got to say, nigga?
Hey, yo. First of all, I'm going to tell all these motherfuckers. I know Craig. I know Craig fucking Stewart. Alright? Me and Craig go way back to the fucking 80s. Miss Gladys is my fucking girl. I beat a nigga up over her. His brother, too. Running around too much when we was kids. But you know. Me and this dude used to run together heavy. With the Tyco Turbo Hoppers. You know
Building clubhouses and shit. Climbing in sewers.
Climbing in sewers, yo.
Going down Luckman Park, walking the creek.
We was hanging out in sewage.
I know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And we ain't get nothing.
Going to high school parties.
Deep. We was special,
In the back of Miss Gladys' Camry.
In the back of a Camry, yo. And your ass always drove. Always a slick nigga, though. Always a slick nigga. I'm gonna go spend my money on some fucking sunglasses. Fuck that, I'm going to Abercrombie. Where you go at? Sunglass Hut. This nigga truck. Craig fucking Stewart, yo. Your mother got some juice at the house, don't she?
Coming to my house, drinking up our shit.
Yeah, she got the juice, the styrofoam cups. Fucking up the environment.
Oh, yeah, she used to get those styrofoam cups from Word.
Yeah, that shit wasn't very green.
She used to take that shit from Word.
That wasn't very green at all. That was very fucking irresponsible of your mother at the time. And she was buying them shits by the boatload.
She wasn't buying them. She was taking that shit from Word.
And we was running through them shits.
Yeah.
Craig.
That's all you got to say, nigga.
That's it, yo.
Thank you for listening. This has been So Much to Say. Follow us.
Tell Ty lose some motherfucking weight.
Thank you for listening. This is So Much to Say. Be sure to follow us. Be sure to follow.
Yo, how Donna doing, yo?
Be sure to follow us on.
How the fuck Donna doing, yo? How Donna? What's up, girl? Hey.
Be sure to subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play, YouTube,
sister, yo.
Wherever you can listen to podcasts. Please share this with your friends, your family, your network. Be safe. Keep loving yourself.